Suletta challenged Norea and Sophie into a duel. I assume she challenged both of them, so both of them are going to fight? Or is it just going to be Sophie? Or like, is Norea gonna do the fighting? Is it a one-on-one? Is it a 2v1? Or are we all just going to participate in the Royal Rumble? Is that what it was called? The Rumble Ring, there you go. The Rumble Ring, which is a Battle Royale style fight. And if we're not going to see that this episode, since we're going to be fighting with Norea and Sophie, I assume we'll see the Rumble Ring later on, which is always exciting, you know, a battle royale arena. Also, I forgot to mention about the continued theme of what is a gun format, what is a Gundam. You know, they kind of just put that back on us again in the previous episode, which is, you know, a return. And I like that they continue to put that theme on us, you know, whether is a Gundam a medical thing, is it made to help people, or is it just a killing machine that's made to kill people, you know? This is the first idea in the prologue that started everything, you know, with Elan deciding that Gundams are weapons and that it needs to be eliminated. And while during that time, before, you know, Prospera became Prospera, she had the thought of this is going to help humanity as they continue to explore space and all that. Although I was thinking about how perhaps the ideals between Prospera and Elan kind of swapped at some point, but it's but it's just because of the whole Quiet Zero thing, where apparently Elan is working on this in order to ensure peace, and like he's kind of working with, I assume, Gundams, you know, because they were talking about like the whole level and stuff the last time Prospera and Elan were meeting with each other. So I was wondering if like their ideals kind of swapped, or you know, the things that was said about Elan and how he wants to find peace, it did come out of Prospera's mouth, so I don't know. Also, whoever works at Crunchyroll forgot to put the title for episode 14, so I can't make a stupid theory or thought of what is going to happen in this episode just based on the title alone. But if you guys enjoy the content, remember to leave this video a like and subscribe if you haven't. And if you didn't like the content, dislike the video and we'll be on our way. Let's get started. Oh, we got to see what was down there. Wow. Source. Wait, are we just making superhumans so then it doesn't affect Gundams? So the Gundams won't kill them anymore? So she can test Ariel. Yeah, okay. Understandable. Damn, dude. She's all like, alright. Dude, Prospero's like, alright, the father card's not working? Let me toss out the mother card. Oh, you don't want to take over your dad's experiment? What if I told you that the person who started this whole thing was your mother? Accident. Mm-hmm. She told nothing about herself. It's a secret. You've already brought trouble on her. This is her fucking... Wow, both of you guys can bond on that, huh? How? What are you gonna do, Nika? We saw what you were trying to do last time, and it didn't work. Obviously, working by yourself has not catered to you. I'm here to flirt with you. Oh my god, that's like so close to her butt. Oh. Saved yet again. Are they just gonna... They just give the phone back. Alright. Wow, what a stake. I'll refrain. What? Doesn't mean that you can't have a sister. I mean, understandable, the whole losing the duel thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can I see you like you were before? The Rumble Ring! The Rumble Ring! Hey yo! Oh my god, my anxiety is reaching its max right now. I'm Oh my god, my chest is dying. I thought that was Chuchu's mobile suit for a second there, just because all I saw were just two giant balls on it. You'll officially become the CEO? Alright, don't rip your hair out. Yeah, everything will fix itself out. I was thinking if it... Dylan Surrogate. So these are, why can't I remember his name off the sun? Also, did you see those rock texture? Oh my god, guys. My anxiety is making it so hard for me to breathe right now. If I had a heart monitor. Hello there, Chuchu. What does Belmaria want to talk? I mean, Sophie, if, like, what's she, I mean, is she just gonna pilot, like, a random thing, or... Anyways, they're on the lookout for, you know, Sophie and Norea's mobile suit, Gundam. Wow, even Chuchu is, wow, even Chuchu is feeling, even she's feeling the weight of real combat. I need to put that down before I forget. Oh, they all want a piece of Aereo. Everything. Man, really out here putting the blame out on everybody. Oh, is that Sophie coming in? Jesus Christ, just beat his ass with a fucking machine gun. Okay. So it is the same. Okay, so they're just like... I mean, they did say that they're bringing his, and then that's Shaddiq, or one of Shaddiq's harem. You know, I don't know why, but suddenly all my anxiety just flew away after watching Lauda get absolutely destroyed. Jesus Christ, she's tearing up the stadium. Damn, dude! Oh. Well, they're here to fucking kill! They're prepared for real combat. She's just gotta murder these people, dude. Oh man, this poor sod. He's dead. Hey yo, nothing like watching a little murder live on television, huh? Holy shit. You know, I think they're a little... Gunvovas. I was thinking, I'm like, I think they're a little too big for gun bits. Holy shit, talk about... Why are you guys running? Just come here and watch. I mean, you're literally in a chance of, like, dying. There are things that I want. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's just started realizing her action. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He'll be fine. Lauda will be fine. Oh, here's Chuchu defending a Spatian. Just to stay alive. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing Elan. I like that Norea has her own little beef with Elan. Uh-oh. Who is... Oh? It's already finished. I mean... she says after flattening a man. Oh! Suletta's over like, oh my god, I never realized. Oh. Perhaps Ariel has the answer for you, huh? Oh? This is the... Ah. Oh my god. What do you mean you had another daughter? Oh my god! What? Oh my god! Beyond the data storm. She's immortal now. Hey yo, Gundams can't kill us if we just turn humans into Gundams, am I right? No. I want to rewrite the world. Uh-oh. Oh, all the Earth House. And that's how you... Alright, Ario. We need some talking to. You obviously know your mom's plan. You're out, you're like, yeah, that's right. She's got 2 fucking people gaslighting her. Her mom and her mom's daughter. You know what? I shouldn't expect people to have a long shelf life if they're on the opening. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have anything. Alright, I'm gonna go write some notes, and then we'll be back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 14 of, what is this anime again? Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was... Oh man, my anxiety rises as the series continues. Especially in this episode where like I really felt it welling, just continued to well in my chest. And it just died off. Like, my anxiety just went immediately down. It was like almost, it was about to peak at the very least maybe like 80%, but then it just dived down, and I was just like, okay. The moment Norea and Sophie came, and I think it was Sophie who just punched the shit out of Lauda. And I was just like, you know what? That's fine. My anxiety's gone now. At least knowing that the Jerturk House continues to get bullied really just eases my anxiety. Take that, Lauda. Who's becoming official CEO now? You're gonna be in the fucking hospital for a while. Okay, well, you know, might as well get the first point out of the way, which is the fucking theory that, you know, everybody's been gossiping about, and it's the theory that I don't want to talk about, but I keep mentioning it, and here it is. Fucking Prospera comes and tells Belmaria, is it Belmaria or Belmaria? Anyways, she goes to tell, you know, her good friend Belle about the reality of what Ario is, and of course, Ario is her daughter, Ari. Although, Belmaria was just kind of like, you have another daughter, and now I'm just like, okay, like, well, you know, we've got the mystery of Ari is Ario out of the way, right? So now we have Suletta, who's just, I don't know, is she a fucking space baby? Is she what is she? and also we still have that other thing of like the gun bits, and like how back when old Elan, you know, before old Elan died, he had seen the gun bits as like multiple forms of, you know, certain Ari. So it's just kind of like, is Suletta kind of like the current form that's good? And all the other forms that it was trying to, you know, since I would assume, I mean, Ario at this point can just act on its own, you know, it could just be like, alright, I'm gonna fuck you up now. Ario could just act on its own right now. But I would assume before the whole optimization process, she couldn't do it before? I don't know, but we know that in terms of the connection between Suletta and Ario, it's been getting closer and stronger as the series continued. I think I mentioned it last episode too, where, you know, Suletta was only hearing specks of voices, but now she's having a full-on conversation with Ariel. And so we've been seeing Ariel kind of acting out on its own in order to protect Suletta and everything. I don't know. I assume at some point Ariel's just gonna move on its own and it's just gonna be like, alright, I don't need you anymore, Suletta, as the fucking ending shows us of Ariel just fucking punching a hole through Suletta. I don't need anybody in the cockpit anymore. Oh man. And with the connection of Ariel, we have the whole project of Quiet Zero, as we see Prospera is out here trying to get Miorine to join in on the, to join in on the project, because he's in a fucking coma. He's recovering right now. And as we saw with Prospera talking about, well, actually even before that, with Miorine saying like, hey, I'm not going to help. And I love that Prospera, she tosses out the mom card, like, hey, your mom was the one who originated it. Don't you want to help complete your mother's work? If if completing your father's work isn't going to work, don't you want to, you love your mother, right? You're like Suletta, you love your mother. And so at this point, she goes into this talk about data storms, which I assume is something that we have heard about before. I can't remember any science mumbo jumbo. Just goes through one ear and out the other, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'll put this information into ChatGPT so it can explain to me in layman's terms. By the way, after Prospera tossed that mom card, she doesn't really explain it or anything. She's just like, yeah, that's it. And then she goes and she asks, how much do you know about data storms, right? And Miorine says that's the source of the Gundam's curse. and Prospera says for humans at least. And even though the first thing I thought of was superhumans, you're making fucking superhumans or some shit, because like if that's sort of like what Suletta is, then that's why she's able to go into a higher Permet score and not suffer the consequences of doing the Permet stuff, like getting your insides ripped out. But as I was thinking about this, right, it says for humans at least, all I was thinking about was, what about animals? Can we just shove a monkey into a Gundam and like would that affect it? But, she's obviously talking about, well, no, I don't know if obviously, she's probably talking about Ariel, she's put her daughter into a new body and all that. But I do wonder, because when she says for humans at least, she goes and, well, other than talking about, like, the fact that data storms can form a hyper-dense info system different from existing networks. I don't know what that means. But she says, you've seen with your eyes, time and time again, you saw Ariel override her opponents during duels thanks to the same phenomenon. And so I assumed when she says for humans at least, that's what she's talking about. She's talking about Ariel. Quiet Zero is a radical new network concept that uses data storms to control any system via permit links. I'll be honest with you, we're like 14 episodes in and I still don't understand what permits are. All I know is that there's levels to it, and if you go too high, you die. And so she says that Ariel's the trigger, right, for Quiet Zero. That's the whole reason why she brought Suletta and Ariel to school, because it's the purpose of testing and optimizing Ariel. Since they were going to do duels, that nobody was going to die. This is just, a nice little friendly bout that all you really need to do is just get rid of each other's antenna, and that's really it, no death or anything. And so at this point, we see that Prospera perhaps is not happy about the whole thing at Plant Keta. So, I've decided to give the president my assistant. That's why I sent Suletta to your school, and, whatever. The child dreamt of going to school. I, as a parent, whatever. So she fights in duels, right? The school was the best environment for Ariel's optimization. Things were going smoothly until the plant attack, that is. And you can see the way that she presses on herself, the little anger trembles that comes from her hand. She's a little upset at the plant. And so, she says, unless the president awakens, we cannot proceed with Quiet Zero. And if the if the group finds out about it, they're going to scrap it. Especially with the president not awake and all that. He can't just, I was gonna say he can't just mean girl over them. I don't know what that means, but he can't just, you know, override their decision if he's got them unconscious. And when she said this, I was kind of thinking to myself, was she sorta upset at the fact that Suletta had to kill somebody? But like, she's continuing to, she has a mask on, so she's literally, her mask is gone. So, you know, is she just putting that face on as like, you know, as a person who says like, oh yeah, you know, you did it because you had to. And so I do wonder if like, if part of that anger also comes from that, because as she said, you know, she was dueling at school and nobody had to die. You know, she didn't have to kill anybody. So that was good. But then the attack at Plant Keta happened. I don't know. Or perhaps she's just upset at the fact that Dylan got injured and now she can't continue with her plan and all that. That being said, Prospera looks, she looks pretty much the fucking same as usual. When she was talking to Belmaria about Belmaria? Okay. She was talking to Bel about how, you know, Eri is Ario and all that. During her conversation with Belmaria, Prospera says beyond the data storm, she's there waiting for us because that's, again, Eri is Ario, and that was something that Sophie had seen in her last moment. Yeah, she realized the person that was giving her this thrill was not Suletta, it was actually Eri this whole time. And we got to see, you know, Eri in the data storm. I would assume. Wait a minute, if she could see Eri in the data storm, and like, if Quiet Zero is, hold on, what was Quiet Zero is again? It's a radical new network concept that could use data storms to control any system. So Eri could just, if Quiet Zero goes through, and I assume we're at 86%, if that's what, like, the first screen that we see, hold on, right here, 89%. It's at 89%. Is that Quiet Zero, or what is this machine? Because, like, the last time she talked about Quiet Zero, and what she was talking about right here, too, it showcases this thing. And also, as it actually shows us the bottom of this thing, which is a vault? What is this? It also looks like it's kind of broken. Like somebody had broken into it. I don't know, maybe they're just still maybe you just got machines working on it, whatever this fucking thing is, that I assume is maybe Quiet Zero. Okay, so I went back to the whole Quiet Zero thing because, you know, as Prospera said, she's waiting for us in the data storm. And at some point I was just like, does that mean Eri could get a new body? You know, could she just get a new body if the Quiet Zero plan works and all that? You know, maybe she gets a new android body. Is she? You know, maybe she's tired of being a clunky Gundam. But yeah, you see, she says that, and Belmaria is asking her, like, what's your actual plan? You know, what's your true intention? Because what you're saying right now is kind of like just you're just reiterating what the president wants. You know, she says, you wouldn't need a Permet score that high just to realize the president's plan. What's your true intention? And Prospera says, I want to rewrite the world so that Eri can be happy. And in the end, the story is all about a mother's love for her daughter. But also, we're on the whole idea of if somebody gets Quiet Zero done, there is a potential that they could become something close as a god. That was just Miorine saying, like, oh, so what, my dad wants to become a god? What the fuck? And Prospera's like, yeah, a fucking arrogant one. However, I sympathize with his aims. And it shows us her mask. You know, it's a close-up of her mask, which, yeah, because we know what the fuck she's thinking behind. It's like how anime shows you just the mouth if they want to hide someone's feelings. You know, except we're just looking at her mask because she's already wearing a fucking mask, so she's hiding her feelings behind it. Anyways, I don't remember if I've mentioned this before, but in terms of the relationship between Prospera and Suletta, in the beginning, it really does feel like maybe Prospera does care for her. You know, we know that Suletta loves her mom very much. She calls her whenever she has the chance, and especially if she's going through something, I was gonna say something trivial. I mean, it kind of is, you know, with the whole aspect of, you know, she's got friend problems, she's got problems with Elan, going on a date and all that, and wanting to fulfill her school wish list. So, like, she'll call her mom about that all the time. And of course, her Prospera, playing the role of a mom, gives her the advice and tells her things that she wants to hear. But as we continued on with the series, it kind of really feels like Prospera really is just using Suletta as a means to an end, because I'm still thinking about the short story that's based on Ariel's perspective, and how with Prospera coming to Ariel and again talking about how Ariel and Suletta are going to be the spearhead in her revenge plan, and Ariel's over here like, wait, no, mom, hold on, just take me instead, don't take Suletta. Even Ariel at that time wanted to just do it by herself. She didn't want Suletta to be a part of this plan, whether it's because both her and Prospera were a part of that whole, what is it? They were a part of the whole explosion destruction stuff, you know, from the prologue, and Suletta came after it because we know that Eri is older than Suletta, as we saw with Belmeria talking about how, like, oh, it's been 20 years or whatever, and if that was the case, then if Suletta was Eri, she wouldn't be in high school, you know, she wouldn't be 16 or whatever, the age that she is right now. You know, I assume Ariel at that point was just like, she doesn't have any part in this, so why are you bringing her into this plan? Well, I've got lost in the sauce at some point, because I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah, the relationship between Suletta and Prospera, and how, as we continued on with the series, we started seeing Prospera talking more and more about Ariel, and you know how she was talking about towards in like episode 12, where if you do this, this, and this, you'll protect me, Ariel, and all that. The way that she mentioned like three people in one. She mentioned three people in her sentence, and like obviously she was referring to Ariel as well. So it's kind of like that feeling of your mom obviously favoring somebody else. You know, in this case, Prospera is obviously still thinking about Eri and her, I don't know, her actual daughter, and like Suletta is she's just there. I don't know, but I would assume Ariel herself would consider Suletta as her little sister. I don't know, but again, with we don't know what Ariel is thinking, other than that one time in the short story, right? Until after that, all we've really been hearing from Ariel is through what Suletta is just reiterating, right? The way, not reiterating, but the way that she responds back to Ariel that makes us kind of figure what Ariel is saying. Kind of like in this episode where Suletta was a little worried about the whole thought of Gundam and like it being a killing machine and everything, and Ariel is the one who is reassuring her, comforting her, saying like, hey, you protected them, you protected Nika, you know, and in this case you kind of also protected Miorine if Sophie was gonna come and fucking kill her. But yeah, like, Ariel's now, like, reassuring her and saying that these things that you're doing, they're correct. And it's kind of like, which is why I was talking about how, like, it feels like Suletta is now getting gaslit, both by her mom and by her mom's daughter. Where I'm not really sure if there was, like, a change in Ariel, or if throughout the whole optimization thing, right? The whole optimization of of Ariel, like, was there a change within Ariel, or it's just Ariel continuing to follow her mom's plans because she knows what her mom or she figures what her mom wants in terms of, you know, the revenge plot and everything. So I wonder what Ariel is thinking, and it kind of goes back to that whole scene of the ending, right? Where it's somewhere right here with yeah, this scene right here of just Ariel just fucking punching a hole through her. Although perhaps that's like, we won't know. Perhaps that's like Ariel putting a deeper connection into Suletta. Yeah? Really bring her into the data storm and everything. But yeah, I don't know what's happening with Ariel. Maybe one of these days Ariel can just fucking talk, you know? Because that was the one thing that Ariel's just going, God damn it, if only I could fucking talk right now. All I could do is make these beep beep noises in the fucking short story. So, I don't know. And, well, I've already spent 25 minutes just literally talking about that, so I'm just going to... We're gonna move on. We're gonna speak on all the small other notes that I wanted to fucking talk about. So, is it for her wounds? She said she'll at least let us do first aid. She should have just told us she's had an accident working on Farrak. Nika's always keeping things from us. So that's Martin going. And then she told us nothing about herself. So this is Chuchu and that other guy whose name I currently don't know just watching, because I assume they're prepping up for the Rumble Ring, right? And then, you know, after Martin goes and says like, oh, she never tells anything about us, here we have Nika just telling just a small little tidbit on herself, just because, you know, Suletta was there. And so she says, I'm an orphan like them. I don't know where my own parents or where I was born. Stuck in a tiny room, I spent every day assembling different components. I'd always longed to go to school, so this is her, you know, mirroring Suletta, or Suletta mirroring Nika. But, you know, this is the both of them mirroring each other, and how Suletta wanted to go to school, Nika wanted to go to school. So that's why in the first episode, when Suletta was talking about how this is her first time at school and how excited she was, Nika is able to understand that feeling. She's able to empathize with Suletta. Or in the case of what Nika says, I was just projecting myself onto you. Also, when did Nika break her arm? Must have been... Is it the time when she got attacked by Sophie? It's definitely not because of the stomping. I think it's Sophie, right? Okay, anyways. It felt like my dream had come true, coming to the school and everything, the special courses. Ooh, okay. I will say, kudos for them on actually writing out just about everything, like even the fucking curriculums and everything, like the courses for the 3 special courses, piloting, mechanics, and management strategy. The equipment. Damn, dude, Dylan's got a nice signature. So yeah, I feel like, so this is her talking about how she's projecting. Yeah, I thought you were just like me. I was just projecting myself onto you, because we're not the same. So this is yet again Nika saying, I'll take care of everything myself. Whether that's because, you know, she lived in an orphanage, you know, in an orphan house or in whatever, and she grew up by herself. She doesn't know her parents, she doesn't even know her birthplace and everything. So like I would assume she's been alone for a lot of her years, and even when she comes to this school and all that, she takes all these things that she's learned before, and she continues to do everything by herself. She keeps things to herself, as Martin says. She never told us who she was, you know, she never actually gave out information about herself. And so, well, the last time we saw Nika was while Norea and Sophie are attacking. Nika was trying to rat herself out, and everybody else who she had accompanied, but she had got captured by Shaddiq's harem. Sorry, harem. His harem had come for her. So seems like she's gonna be with Shaddiq she's gonna continue to be with Shaddiq, as I assume maybe that's what we'll be seeing in the next episode, consider that it's called Dad and Father, or Dad and Father, Dad and Child, Dad and Son, Father and Son, somewhere around there. You know, when I saw the title of that, the first thing I thought of was Ghoul! But I forgot, Ghoul is dadless now. The only person with a dad is Shaddiq. Oh man, so I suppose, you know, as Shaddiq said, he's bringing his dad into his plan, so where we're going to see what he's got in store for his dad. So that will be fun. Also, yeah, that was the other thing too. In terms of Shaddiq's harem at work, where she's they've taken what is his name? I keep forgetting. Zanelli. There you go. Yeah, they've taken Sarius Zanelli. So that's just one part of Shaddiq's plans. I assume he didn't expect Sophie to die, so Sophie was the wild card. You know, we've seen it. She's the wild card this whole time. She's out here after the throw, and actually, hold on, before I even talk about Sophie and even Norea, Lauda's becoming the official CEO. He's not the standing CEO anymore. He's gonna become the official CEO. But as I said before, he's gotta be at the hospital for a few more days, weeks, or even months after this shit. Then he's not gonna be taking up CEO. Where's Ghoul when you need him? Where is he? Show me this boy in his prison. Anyways, in the midst of the Rumble Ring, we had Chuchu, which always nice to see Chuchu, but it's nice to see that we're getting the continuation of I was gonna say PTSD of real combat. It kind of is, but yeah, you know, it's the same thing as like how Lilik, you know, what is it? Looks away. She kind of did the same thing too after, you know, Norea blew up a man. Blew up a boy, actually. He was probably a student, so, oh, he's dead now, whoever this boy is. So, you know, we saw Lilik get to witness real combat again, and somebody fucking dying on television. Hell yeah. Well, live, on a live stream. This is live leak now. We see that it has also been affecting Chuchu as well, because before Norea and Sophie came out, Chuchu had a good time to be shooting at someone, but she ended up stopping because she's thinking about the real combat and how, you know, somebody died during this real combat, and so it made it hard for her to actually want to fire in the case that she might accidentally kill someone, even if they have that special program thing or whatever that they were talking about before when Norea and Sophie came in. They're just like, oh, they don't have whatever special program it is. Oh, they're made for real combat. Yeah, with that for Chuchu and Norea and Sophie fucking coming in, causing chaos and everything. And I like that Chuchu was just out here. She was ready to kill. She's just like, you know what? You're really out here fucking killing people? That pisses me off. I'm gonna blow your ass up. I love that. But in the end, she hears the cry of one of that girl whose name I can't remember, who's a part of the Jerturk House, you know, crying out saying, please help me, Lauda is going to die. And so Chuchu, she ends up protecting Aspasian instead, because of course she would, you know? In the end, she's just a softie on the inside. Is that a flag? Everything now, I'm just like, is this a flag? What's going on here? Speaking of flag, did Sophie put herself on a flag? Actually, no, she was always on a flag, consider how much she was a wild card and she was a thrill seeker. She was seeking that feeling that she thought Suletta was giving her. Perhaps that feeling of, hold on. Let me go on over to the actual fucking battle. I hear it, right? I can feel it, the thrill from that day. That beautiful voice calling out to kill me. I mean, she's a thrill seeker, but then Sophie, we're talking about Sophie now. Sophie was talking about how, you know, she kills in order to get the things that she wants, you know, the ends justifies the means and everything, and how She was talking about the things that she wants, you know, a good home, an actual good place to sleep in, a real family that loves her, everything, because she's also a part of the orphanage. Because of these things that she's fighting for, she's willing to kill for that. And that brings us over to Suletta, where, you know, Suletta realizes, oh yeah, there was some things that she had to do she had to kill someone in order to protect the thing that she loves, in order to get the thing that she wants to keep safe, and that was Miorine, right? She ended up killing because she wanted to protect Miorine, and that was... I was trying to rewind that back to the fucking whole flag thing, the red flag, right? But all before this, you know, with Sophie saying, hey, I've got what I wanted. If I win the duel, you're going to become a real sister with me. And Suletta rejected that because, of course, if she loses, then she loses the right to become Miorine's bride, or at the very least stay as Miorine's bride until her birthday. And so she has to reject that ideal. Like, I can't become sisters with you. I got a bride to think about. Sophie figures that it's Miorine who's keeping her down, which, I mean, I mean, if we're talking about keeping her down, or keeping her chained down, keeping her locked up, I think it's Miorine who's kind of keeping her humble and, like, actually, for the most part, keeping, letting her, perhaps, would be able to let her grow into her own identity instead of what Prospera wants her to be. But anyways, Sophie figures that, you know, it's Miorine. The Miorine's the problem, and she vows to kill Miorine. And at that point, I was... as I was writing my notes, I was just like, is that a flag? Was this a flag this whole time? She threatened Miorine, and the last time somebody threatened to kill Miorine, he got fucking flattened and turned into tomato juice. So, like... probably not, I don't know. Oh, Sophie, you shouldn't have done that. But again, she was already a danger to herself by being that wild card and being that thrill seeker. You know, it's odd because she says she's got all these things that she wants to fight for, but at the same time, she's a thrill seeker and she is actively searching for death. She's actively searching for death because she's just like, I can feel it, that beautiful voice that's calling out to kill me. I can see it, but then in the last moment of her death, she gets upset because she's just like, wait a minute, you're not the one that I wanted, Suletta, what the fuck? It's that fucking girl. At that moment, you can see Ariel changing to Eri, because that's what she is, and like Eri is reaching her hand out to Sophie before, and Sophie was also reaching out to Eri as well before Suletta is yelling at Ariel to stop. Although I can't figure out whether, like, Ariel did stop, but then, you know, of course, Sophie died because she was just in this fucking space, and she's, as Norea said, don't fucking get any closer, but here's Sophie getting closer anyways. So, like, I wonder if, like, the whole thing, I think they stopped, but then again, Sophie died before anything else had happened, so, as Norea said, she died before you could kill her. Ariel's true nature, with its 11 gun bits. Ariel's been controlling space itself, using the data storm. And yet Suletta is unaffected by the data storm. It's almost as if someone else were controlling the gun bits, so it's Ariel. Okay, and then that's why, and then that goes back to the, okay. Things you want, things you'll fight to win. Is it that bride of yours, that woman, Miorine? You pilot that tool of murder for her. And I love this. Ariel's not a tool of murder. Then why does Ariel have all those weapons? And Suletta's just like, oh my god, you're right. Why does Ariel have all these weapons? What have I been dueling for this whole time? Who made it such a violent machine? And so this is when, you know, she's just kind of like, oh, the person who made this is my mom. Ariel was built by my mom to do what exactly, right? She starts to second guess herself, try to figure out WTF is going on here. Which kind of goes back to the whole thing with Ariel, right? Because as she was starting to second guess herself, I'll crush Miorine and everything else, you know, like, yeah. Actually, you know what? After she said this, right, she said, I'll win the duel, I'll crush Miorine, the school, and everything else, then I'll let you be my family, big sis. And then at that point, Soletta's just like, alright, we can't be having this. That was the fucking trigger, because as Ariel told her, what is it? You protected everybody. You protected the school. As she was talking about towards the end, Gundams are supposed to be mobile suits that save lives. And then Ariel comes in and tells her something. And Soletta's like, that's right. I protected Nika, Miorine, and the campus too. You and the others helped me along, Ariel. Move forward, gain 2. Mother was right. Just like Mom says. She says, fucking in tears and everything. Yeah, sure. What the fuck did you gain here in this point? But yeah, so that's the same thing as, what is it? That was the trigger, right? With Sophie saying, I'll crush Miorine, I'll crush the school, I'll crush everybody, and then you can be my big sister. And so that's what Ariel ends up going and saying, hey, look, this was what Sophie said she was going to do. And if we had let her on her rampage, or if we had let her continued, she would have done what she said. So you've done what you needed to do. You've protected Nika, you've protected Miss Miorine, and you've protected the campus. Fucking great, you know? And the way that you did that by killing someone. The life for one for the lives of many. And I guess with this, you know what? The lives for one for the lives of many. And now I'm just over here like, is that just Prospera's stuff, except it's backwards? The lives of many for the lives of one? Because Prospera is saying she's gonna rewrite the, hold on, I have the fucking quote here. Rewrite the world. She's gonna rewrite the world so that Eri could be happy. So that is kind of like, and especially with Belmaria saying you would need a permit score that high just to realize the president's plans, and like Prospera's been pushing to get the permit score up. They were last time she was talking with Dylan, they were talking about how they got permit level 6 now, I think? Is that what it was? Somewhere around there. It's a high level of permit. And so, yeah, perhaps it could be that ideal of the lives of many for one. Kind of like with how it kind of feels like we've been seeing multiple versions of like little kids, again with that whole episode with old Elan when he was seeing that. I don't know, somebody's gonna get fucking into the data storm at this point, right? Okay, where was I talking? I was talking about Sophie, and I went right back into the whole fucking Ariel's Ari shit. Norea. Okay, Norea. It seems like Norea currently has a little bit of beef with Elan. As she said, in how, hold on. There it is. Norea's got beef with Elan and how, like, she's fighting to the death, you know, she's fighting with her life on the line, while Elan is trying to stay alive. As he said, I didn't, he was like, I changed my face in order to save my own life. I'm not gonna put myself in danger again. You know, with this new Elan and how his mask was just slipping off at that point. So, it'll be interesting to see what this new Elan is continued to do, whether he's gonna continue to try and seduce Suletta. But he does know, in terms of Elan, he does know that Shaddiq's harem has caught the president, Zanella, not the president of the Grassley defensive system. Is that what it was? Anyway, Zanelli. So, Elan's got info on that, although I wonder what Elan is doing, whether he's actually following Peltech or if he's trying to figure out how to get himself out of this situation, you know, because he is trying to stay alive, as he said, and if perhaps he finds a different option on how he's going to stay alive, or if he knows that Peltech will come for him eventually, he's probably going to try and do something. But at the very least, we've learned that Elan right now, I would assume, is for himself. You know, he's for himself, and he's just kind of following orders of other people in order to save himself. But I would assume if there's going to be an opportunity that he's going to be able to save himself, but it doesn't really matter whoever he's working with, he might just end up taking it. Who knows? Who knows? I was talking about Norea, but I got distracted with Elan. Well, actually, that's really the only thing that I got to talk about with for Norea is the fact that she's got beef with Elan. You know, we can see that she was sad over Sophie's death because, as we see before, she was just kind of like, Sophie, get the fuck back! What the fuck are you doing? So, I love that as Suletta was looking at Sophie's dead body, Norea's just like, don't fret about it. Obviously, she was in tears and everything, so she was obviously a little upset. But, you know, don't fret about it. You didn't kill her. She died before you could do it. It's just how the world works. Actually, I do want to see what, hold on. And yet you weren't killed by it. What the hell are you? Okay. Okay. That's just Norea trying to figure out, like, what the fuck is Suletta, but it's not Suletta, it's Ario that's controlling everything, and that's why she's able to go up into a higher Permet score without killing Suletta. Which, at this point, I'm just kind of like, okay, so, like, if Ario is the trigger for Quiet Zero, and if they're able to manage Quiet Zero, would they be able to give the Permet score to everybody? I don't know. Hopefully Peltech doesn't figure this out, or else they're gonna be like, alright, Elan, get in the ferret. We're gonna merge you with it. Oh no! Anyways, you think old Elan is somewhere in the data storm? I still don't know what the fuck the data storm is. All I am thinking about is, like, is this like the afterlife? We're all humans, but we get turned into data at some point, right? And one final thing, which is also towards the end, there's an arrest warrant on Nika, but I assume Nika has been captured by Shaddiq's harem, so she's not gonna be she's not gonna be arrested anytime soon unless they just toss her out. But again, she can just spill their secrets, so they probably can't toss her out, you know, unless they just kill her, whichever one, whichever one works. But Earth House is also being detained because Nika is a part of Earth House. So, and also, you know, I assume with the whole Spatian versus Earthian shit, you know, so we'll just have to see how that goes. But at this point, I assume Earth House has now realized with them announcing that Nika is a terrorist, yeah, the soldiers that came in. So they're probably just gonna be like, oh my god, Nika was a terrorist? I can't believe this. But well, we'll just have to see, you know, we'll have to see what's going on with Earth House and how that's going to go, and whether perhaps that one girl from the Jerturk House, would she stand up for them? I wonder, because it was Chuchu, an Earthian, who protected her and the life of Lauda as well, you know, the soon-to-be official CEO of the Jerturk, not the Jerturk House, but the company Jerturk. the Jerturk company. What are they called again? Okay, I was looking at my notes for the Cradle World again, the short story that's based on Ariel's perspective, and like and so in this point, right, when they got to Mercury, Ari was already Ariel, because we can see that Ariel is talking about Suletta, right? And how Suletta's the only kid and Ariel was her only friend and all that, and how she was talking about Elnora at this point before changing her name to Prospera. You know, Elnora had gotten a promotion, was busier than ever, and the last birthday spent with Suletta was when she was 11, and all that, and then, you know, the whole talk of revenge. But the only thing that I want to mention at that point was that Ari was already Ariel, so like I'm trying to figure out where were they before they went to Mercury? Yeah. You know, and like what was Elnora doing in order to, you know, shove her daughter into a Gundam? Well, whatever. I'm tired. I don't want to talk about this show anymore, at least until next week, so if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.